originally born in Kingston, Jamaica. Grew up in the islands. Went to high school there, and came to the U.S. in the early '90s, where I went to high school in Miami. Grew up in inner city, underserved populations. I've always had a passion of solving healthcare issues, and so it was only right that I joined the military, being a combat medic, where I spent about a good 6-7 years working in some of the large medical hospitals that's attached with the U.S. Army Medical Command. Due to injuries, my military career got cut short, and so I ended up here in Washington, D.C., where I attended Howard University as I started to transition back into the civilian healthcare system, getting out of the military and moving into the VA healthcare system. And so, throughout that, I've raised 4 daughters, father of 4.
Where else would I come and make this kind of historic announcement?
Will you be faithful to this great legacy?
I will. I will learn from my weaknesses. I will grow beyond strength. I will offer my all, and I will ask God to help me.
As student leaders of the Howard University community, will you seek to serve in a spirit of excellence, with compassion, integrity, and bold commitment to justice in your diverse pursuits?
We humbly step forward to continue the legacy of service at Howard University and throughout the world. We promise to remain faithful to this legacy.
I'm Michael Akinyele, former Chief Innovation Officer of the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the President of IndyGeneUS Health Group, a newly formed sister company of IndyGeneUS. As a proud alum of Howard University, I'm delighted to be making this announcement from the yard here on Howard University's campus. Too many Black people are dying too early. My father died when he was 67. He didn't live long enough to see any of my children. I want to live longer, healthier. Although people with African ancestry make up more than 20% of the global population, our genetic data is less than 3% of the data used in drug discovery. That's not right. I am joining the movement and sharing my sample because I want to be part of the solution. I want to live long enough to see my children become established adults. I want to meet all of my grandchildren. Unfortunately, conditions affecting people of color are systematically underfunded by institutions like the National Institutes of Health, otherwise known as NIH, right here in the Washington, D.C. area. We are tired of waiting for such institutions to do the right thing. Did you know that in 2020, NIH allocated less than 1/20% of its budget to sickle cell disease research? Our tax dollars. In the same year, twice as much was allocated to researching dietary supplements, 4 times as much to research physical activity, 30 times as much to research aging. That's not right. Around the world, 300 million people of color carry the genetic trait of sickle cell. 20 million are affected by the disease. In America, it remains the #1 inherited blood disorder, a disease affecting 1 in 500 African Americans and 1 in 1,500 Hispanic Americans. 2 of my friends died from sickle cell disease a few months ago, a couple of weeks apart, in different parts of the world, in the prime of their lives, leaving behind devastated families. They survived COVID-19, but sickle cell disease killed them. One of them was a Howard alum. She had a sweet and kind soul. She spent so much of her career working long hours and late nights at the FDA, an institution that didn't even bother to prioritize the condition she was suffering from, a condition that ultimately took her life after decades of suffering. It is time to be the change we want to see, so I invite you to join our movement at buyusforall.com, share your sample, and support our mission to investigate and develop drugs for conditions primarily affecting underserved communities. Thank you. God bless you, and may God bless everyone, everywhere, working to create a fairer future.